Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, TCG&Whiskey. We're going to be going over UFC Vegas 49. First, let's say thank you to our sponsor, Tampa Bless. Home of Team Do Good, TampaBless.com for more information on that. We got a catchweight bout for the main event. Well-known Islam Makhachev, 21-1. He's ranked number 4 right now. He's 30 years old, and he's a minus 800 favorite, and he's climbing. He didn't open at that. He's climbing. He's going up against Bobby King Green, filling in last minute right here. He just had that crazy win, too. He's 29-12-1. He's 35 years old. I feel he's the best he's ever been, too, at 35. So let's hope that hill doesn't start sloping for him because it's been going up. He's a plus 550 dog. And he's on that 2-fight winning streak, last beating Nasrat Haparak. Islam, 9-fight winning streak, last beating Hooker. Tom, this is really a good fight right here. Islam is just steamrolling everyone. Bobby Green, though, very experienced veteran. How do you see this one playing out?
All right, you got Islam Makhachev, the Russian, on one side, 30 years old, 5'8" in height. Just wanted to mention Islam being newly sponsored by Saitama. If you're into the crypto world, you know what I'm talking about. The other side, you got Bobby Green, the American. He's coming off that decision win over Nasrat, as you mentioned. He's 35 years old, 5'8" in height, listed the same listed height as Islam. However, Bobby's got a 0.5-inch reach advantage, at least according to the notes. Islam, international master of sports in Sambo. He's 9 wins in a row with the last fight, a round 1 sub win over Dan Hooker in October 2021. It was pure domination. I did not see that coming. I thought Islam would win, but not like that. That was dominant. On the other side, Bobby Green, let me just cover Islam's record. 21-1-0. Overall, UFC 10-1-0. Bobby Green, 29-12-0, 12-1. UFC 10-7-1. He's a blue belt in BJJ. He's never been subbed, at least in the UFC. So out of his 18 fights in the UFC, he's never been subbed. So that's worth noting as well. My pick here, Bobby's only chance in my mind is to keep the distance and tag Islam up. That's more difficult than it sounds, though. I got Islam here by sub round 3 or 4, giving Bobby his first sub loss in the UFC. However, I do want to know this is a dangerous fight at catchweight. I wanted to note this for Islam here. Islam has everything to lose. Bobby has really nothing to lose and everything to gain. If he loses, he was expected to lose. If he wins, Islam has now just got Tony Ferguson out of the picture.
It's true. It's true. This is kind of striker versus grappler right here. I love Bobby Green. I think he can weather a lot of the storm, but Islam is a workhorse, and he's going to shoot for those takedowns for 5 rounds. Green, a lot of people don't know, Green has amazing wrestling. We just never see it used, so people don't realize how high level he really is. This fight, we're going to see that wrestling because Islam's not going to stand and strike with Bobby Green the whole time. That's not his path to victory. Bobby Green, Islam has very good hands too that you rarely ever see, and they've been getting better and better. But Bobby definitely has slick boxing, great boxing. I honestly think Bobby could almost have won his last 9 in a row also. His fight versus Fazeev, if that went a couple more rounds, Bobby probably finishes that fight, honestly. I'm just saying he's that good. I just don't think 5 rounds of Samba is going to be Bobby's specialty here. I think Islam is one of the best in the world at it. I think we see a late finish here. I agree. I don't know if we see a sub, but I think Islam's going to finish Bobby. Bobby may clip him coming in once or twice, but I also think Bobby's not known for his knockout power. So is he going to really be able to get Islam out of there? I don't think so. I
mean, he got Al. He did tag Al up. Al basically called Percy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's never knocked anyone out, but he's not known for that one-shot knockout power that you're going to need on Islam.
I mean, Al wasn't stone out, but he didn't want it anymore.
No, and he retired after that fight. He was done. Plus, this is Islam Makhachev here. He's gonna take a hit and go straight into wrestling, and his wrestling it's not comparable to Ayala Quinta's wrestling. I'm not saying Al was bad, but they're not comparable. Now, so I'm taking Islam. I agree with you. I think he gets a late finish off of Bobby. Bobby's going to get paid. That's his main thing. Bobby's not even ranked. He's not a ranked opponent.
It's crazy how deep that division is.
Right, so he's jumping way up for this fight. It's serious, though. Bobby doesn't chump against anyone, though. He looks good all the time.
He's game. But I like Bobby Green. I'm a fan, too.
I like him, too. But you got to take Islam.
Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose.
You got to win. Card market, Islam is already one of the most expensive, newer fighters there is. I don't think that changes. I think totally got to have a buy rating on him. You got to have something of this guy. His rookie card, 2019 Chromes are available. They're already expensive. The only guy I see standing in Islam's way is the champ. Dubronx has every skill set there is, and he looks better and better himself. That's the fight I want to see. That's the fight where you're not going to see Islam minus
I got to chime in here because the fight I wanted to see was the fight that was booked. Beneil Dariush deserves it, and that was a heck of a match.
He's injured, so he's out of the question.
I know that,
now.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's out of the question. He earned it. He's not going to even get that shot anymore. So, love
if you
Bobby.
Want to talk about grappling skills, Beneil's right there.
Well, I don't think he would have been, but that's a different topic. Charles is his next guy in line, and that'll be it. You're not going to hold 10-fight winning streak with his popularity out of the title shot. Beneil, they'll hold out of the title shot. He's going to have to win. I love Bobby, but the sell on him, while he's got this hype around him, is probably your best move. He's jumping the entire top 15 for this fight, basically. And listen, I love Bobby Green. I'm not saying he's not as good as the guys in the top 15. I just think this is the time to sell him. I don't think he doesn't care enough about the title picture and the shot. He cares more about the paycheck and everything else. Nothing wrong with that. That's his prerogative. He's an older fighter too, and I think he's at the best we've ever seen him, but he's also time's ticking on him. 35 in the lightweight division.
I want to chime in real quick because I forgot to note the date because this is how game Bobby Green is. So I feel like he really is hungry more than just the money. He's hungry to just prove to himself how good he is. He's not necessarily, I think it's him against him more. 2/12/22. That's when he fought. This fight is going to be on 2/26/22. That's 14 days after a fight. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. It might be the shortest.
Nah,
I'm not sure if that's a record or not.
Was 9 days.
All right, so Hamzat beat
and what's it called? I think beat Hamzat recently. The Mexican girl, the wrestler, Lupe Godinez.
Because normally they don't even have events less than 7 days apart.
Right. Well, Lupe Godinez, remember she jumped in, she stayed, she fought. She was like, I think 6 or 7 days apart too. And Hamzat when he stayed on the island.
Yeah, because the fights are a week apart minimum.
Right.
So you couldn't really beat a week.
Well, sometimes they have those weird fights, but
Bobby's a gangster.
Listen, I love Bobby Green, but off topic there. Let's get right on. We got a lightweight.
That's on topic, actually. Bobby 2 weeks away on the fight. That was on topic.
Well, that's why it's a catch weight. He doesn't want to cut down again, which understandable.
I know. I hear that, but I still think it's a. Hey, I give props to Islam because he's given Bobby an opportunity to basically leapfrog the whole daggone division, and Islam has nothing to gain here.
It's true, but this fight is almost going to solidify Islam for that belt shot. Even though it's Bobby, like an unranked dude, and Bobby loses this fight, he goes down way below. Like you said, he leapfrogs number 4 if he wins. But this is just number 10 in a row, and Islam saying, I'm the best. I'm beating everybody you guys put in front of me. Give me the title shot. Yeah. And his popularity is growing rapidly. Islam is very popular, and you can't deny popularity can win in UFC when it comes to title shots as far as who gets it, and we know that. It's not always about who's the best. It's about who's bringing the draw. And Islam is starting to bring the draw, so well, let's go right on.
And you know what's crazy is just on this same point, because this is definitely worth chatting about a tiny bit, because Bobby's popularity is really kind of just hit a little bit of a freaking spike there too. So I really think this will bring some eyes. Islam's crowd plus Bobby's crowd. And if Islam can put on a show, he'll probably pick up some fans off Bobby's crowd as well. It'll be to his benefit.
Oh, absolutely. I think Bobby already has, like you mentioned, a pretty good crowd right now. He brings it for the fans every fight. He doesn't use his wrestling, which he has in the back pocket at all time. He likes to stand up and strike. He's vocal out there. I agree. I don't argue that at all. I'm a huge fan of Bobby Green. Huge fan.
No, I know you
love
are.
Bobby. He speaks his mind. He's like a truthful,
fights,
real guy.
Win, someone's got to lose.
Yeah, that's it. I just feel Islam is just so skilled when he gets the fight where he wants it to go, and he does get the fights where he wants them to go. That's the crazy part. All right, we got a lightweight battle. Armin Petrossian, ranked number 13, 17-2. This guy's 25 years old. He's a minus 220 favorite. He's on that 4-fight winning streak right now, and his last loss was to Islam Makhachev, and he last beat Christos Giagos in that. That was actually a pretty good fight if you go back and watch it. He's going up against Joel Alvarez, 19-2. He's 28 years old. He's a plus 180 underdog, and he's also on a 4-fight winning streak, last beating Thiago Moises, and his last loss was to Damir Ismagulov. Tom, this is another really good up-and-coming fight right here.
Yeah, it is. This is tough.
Yeah, I could see this fight going a couple different scenarios. How do you see this one playing out?
All right, so Arman Sarukian, the Georgian-born Armenian Russian, 25 years old, 5'6" in height. On the other side, the Spaniard, Joel Alvarez, 28 years old. Both these guys under 30. Arman, 17-2-0. Overall, UFC 4-1-0. He's a master of sport in MMA and wrestling. He's coming off that TKO punches win round 1 over Christos Giagos in September 2021. Joel Alvarez on the other side, 19-2-0 overall, UFC 4-1. Same record for both these guys in the UFC. I do want to note, Arman's 5'6" in height. Joel is 6'2".
All right.
So that's an 8-inch height advantage. He also holds a 4.5-inch reach advantage, does Alvarez. He's coming off a round 1 TKO strikes finish of Thiago Moises in November 2021. So both these guys, they both fought in the fall of 2021. Both have 4 wins in a row and all 4 finishes. So it's pretty interesting. And I believe that all 4 finishes are by Alvarez, not by Armin. But Armin does have 4 wins in a row, and so does Alvarez. However, Alvarez, all 4 of them were by finishes. Heck of a matchup. My pick here, these are both up-and-coming contenders, both these guys. Tough call here. I see either a KO or TKO by strikes win by Alvarez or a decision by Armin. I'm going to go with the former here. I'm going with Alvarez by strikes round 1.
I could see that playing out. I really can. I keep going back and forth on this one. I watched their last few fights on both these guys just because I wanted to check it out because I'm like, these guys look so... They don't look so even. They look so different, but they both have good skill sets everywhere. I know how good Armin is, but Joel is sneaky good, and he's been the underdog in the past few fights, and he gets the upsets. I mean, Thiago Moises is a really good up-and-comer himself, and he finished him first round. Islam didn't do that. Islam beat Thiago pretty recently. He couldn't forget that finish like that first round. Both men can really finish the fight everywhere it goes, and everywhere it goes, I get the feeling we may see a lot of stand-up here, though. I think Joel, the taller fighter, he fights very long in there, too. I think I'm taking the favorite, though. I know we have a live dog here. I think Joel has been catching a lot of guys in submissions. If you look at a lot of them, I know he got the last one against Moises in round 1, but he's been getting these guys in these submissions. He just had like a triangle choke. I think he had a rear naked choke. You're not going to catch Sarukian in those kind of submissions. You're not going to throw up a triangle and just get that guy. That guy is so well-rounded. I think he'll be able to hang a little bit longer. I think he'll be able to get it to the fight. I know it's not going to be easy to get Joel down, but I think he will. And I just think he's too good. He's not going to get caught in those submissions that these other, except for Moises, these other guys are a little bit less skilled on the ground, and that's not where he won against Thiago. I'm going to be paying close attention for weigh-ins, see how these guys size up against each other and everything like that. I got to take Armin here, and I'm not very confident in the pick because Joel has been upsetting us, but I think Armin's a much better ground guy than the guys that he's been beating. And like I said, just catching.
By decision here, you got it?
Yeah, I think it goes all the way. I think Joel's crafty himself, and I think he does get a couple clip shots in there with those long arms and everything, but Armin's got good stand-up too. Both guys, as you mentioned, young, good prospects. Both guys not printed yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see both of them printed. We'll come back to that later.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
We'll see. Prism drops in about a month from today, so we'll see what the checklist is probably a couple of days before that. And we'll know after this fight if we got to put a buy or a sell on one of these guys. I'm taking Armin by decision, and not super confident, but I do like him. He's very skillful. Let's go right on. We got a middleweight, another one. Armin Petrossian, 6-1. He's 31 years old. He's a plus 135 underdog. He's on that 2-fight winning streak here, and he's making his debut. Now, he was on the Contender Series. You can go back and watch that fight. Pretty good fight because he was losing that fight. And then, he does his thing. He's going up against Gregory Rodriguez, who's 11-3, 30 years old. Looks like he's about 45 years old. And he's the minus 155 favorite. He does looks crazy old in there. You don't realize he's only 30. He's on that 4-fight winning streak, and he last beat Jun Young Park, which is impressive for him. Tom, how do you see this one playing out? This is another tough one.
All right, Armin Petrossian, the Russian-born, fighting out of Armenia, 31 years old, 6'2" in height. The other side, the Brazilian Robocop, Gregory Rodriguez, 30 years old, 6'2" in height as well, but Gregory holds a 4-inch reach advantage. Armin, 6-1-0 overall UFC. It's his debut. All of his fights, however, were finishes, so he's not used to decisions or going the distance, including his loss was a finish. Every single fight he was involved in, Armin, was a finish. So he's never gone to a decision. He's not used to that. Robocop on the other side, 11-3-0 UFC. He's undefeated at 3-0. My pick, I got to go with Robocop by punches, round 2 or a decision.
All right, yeah, you can't argue that statement. Just so you know that Armin's nickname is Superman. So we have Superman versus Robocop.
I like that. That's like a comic book.
I would say that Superman all day over Robocop, but not here. Petrossian has great kicks. He has serious power. You watch his past fights. The kid is talented. But Rodriguez also has those heavy hands, and I think much better grappling. And we saw that Petrossian has a problem with the grappling. He's versed, but he's not as good as these other guys. I have to give the edge here to Robocop. More UFC experience, which is going to matter big time in this one. He has a way better ground game, in my opinion. I also give him the strength advantage. That dude is powerful in there. The one thing I see as his weakness is what we kind of saw in his very first fight in the Contender Series. He carries around a ton of muscle, that dude. And you can wear him out. And Petrossian is athletic, strong himself, and has great kicks. He likes to go do those liver kicks, strong up kicks and everything like that. If you watch him, he only needs one to finish, really. But I also think Robocop only needs one to finish. That dude has the power. So as long as he could avoid Armin's quick legs more than even his hands, I think Robocop gets it. I agree. Round 1 KO for him. Another one.
Round 1.
Yeah, I got round 1. I don't think we. Robocop doesn't want to go the distance. That dude is so big.
Everybody would love round
They would,
1.
but he's so big and powerful. He's one of those guys that can just muscle fatigue in there. Not even be tired, just muscle fatigue. He's so big. Now, both these guys also not printed. We got time on them. We'll come back, reevaluate them. I get the feeling we might see Rodriguez printed in this set, though. The guy's on a roll in the UFC. Petrossian, probably not just yet, being this is his debut. I don't know if they're really looking at the Contender Series. All right, but let's move right on. We got another lightweight battle in this one. We got Zhu Rong. He's 18-4. He's 21 years old. very young guys on this card.
It's crazy.
He's a plus 180 underdog, and his last fight was a win over Brendan Jenkins. He's going up against Ignacio Bahamondes, who's 12-4, 24 years old, minus 220 favorite, and his last fight was that win over Roosevelt Roberts. That's one of the best KOs you're going to see, so go back and watch that one if you don't remember it. Tom, how do you see this one playing out?
All right, you got the Chinese Zhu Rong on one side, 21 years old, 5'8" in height, against the Chilean Ignacio Bahamondes.
Bahamondes, yes.
Bahamondes. Took me a second there. Shout out to you, Ignacio. 24 years old. All right, so Zhu, 18-4-0 overall. UFC 1-1. He's coming off that GNP finish win over Brandon Jenkins in September. I guess it was 2021 here, just as past fall September. You got on the other side. Oh, I wanted to note here. Ignacio 6'2" in height. Zhu 5'8". Ignacio holds a 4.5-inch reach advantage over Zhu. Now Ignacio, he's coming off a wheel kick finish of Roosevelt Rhodes in August 2021.
Roosevelt Roberts.
Roosevelt Roberts. I don't know where I came up with Roosevelt Rhodes, but it's probably something out there that's named that. Anyway, Roosevelt Roberts. Shout out to you too, my man. My pick. Tough call here, man. Zhu has a lot of swagger. I kind of dig his style. I think he could be, if he could back. The problem is, if you got a lot of swagger and you don't back it up, you kind of get suckered out. You know what I'm saying? To where people aren't going to really buy into it as much anymore. But if you have that swagger and you start to get some finishes, get some W's, you could become a fan favorite. And being that you're Chinese, there's a ton of Chinese people in the world. If you start to become that dude, you could have a huge following. Now, Zhu has a lot of swagger. I see him gaining some ground over time. I think he's not going to, even if he loses this, I think he's going to still keep building. I think he could become that dude over time. However, with Ignacio here, man, he's game two. I was back and forth on this one. I could see it going either way, but I'm going to go with Ignacio here by decision.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty close, leaning the same way as you are in this one here. I think Ignacio has a couple of advantages that are going to play out big in this fight. I think his cardio is one of those ones where the cardio is a weapon. His chin, the kid's got heart and chin. He's got the stand-up advantage just in the tools, as you mentioned, and all fights start on the feet, so it's very important. Can Zhu really impose his will on Bahamondes here? We know he wants to get to the fight to the ground. I think he probably can get a takedown or two. Will he have enough to hold him down? I don't know. Bahamondes is pretty thin, but he's very wiry. He's very good. I don't know if he's going to have enough to hold him down, keep him down, and get that kind of finish. I don't think he does. I think Ignacio gets up, and I think Ignacio with that reach advantage, decent stand-up, I think that we're going to see a KO late in like round 3 when Zhu tires out from going for all the takedowns.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a rough one, but like I said, watch Ignacio's knockout in his last fight. Impressive with Roosevelt Roberts. And he was bloodied and beaten and everything. The kid's got heart. That's where I give the real advantage. That reach, that height, and the heart. Yeah, Zhu could change my mind, but 21 years old, I'm not sold on him just yet. Now, another pair of these guys that just not printed yet. They're still so young. We got time. Like I said, when we see that Prism release the checklist, then we'll know. We'll know who they like and who they don't like, and we'll see if we see any more later in the year. All right, but let's move right on. We got another lightweight battle here. I really like this one, though. We got Terence McKinney, 11-3, 27 years old, plus 100 underdog. He's fighting Zuri Zayam, who's 12-3, 24 years old, minus 120 favorite. This is a 2-fight winning streak for Zuri, beating Luigi Vendramini and Jamie Malarkey. Malarkey is game, too. That's a big win, in my opinion. Now, Tom, how do you see this one breaking down right here? We got, 27 and 24 young guys.
All right, Terence McKinney, the American on one side, 27 years old. I follow MMA on Twitter. and I don't follow Terence particularly, but his feed is always popping up on mine for some reason. So he's a very active tweeter. So Terence McKinney, 5'8" in height. The Frenchman, Fariz Ziam, 24 years old, 6'1" in height, and he holds a 1.5-inch reach advantage. Terence, 11-3-0, UFC 1-0. He's coming off a GNP round one. And I believe it was 7-second win over Matt Frivola on June 12th, which was my birthday.
His hands are 2021.
Yeah, that's insane. On the other side, and by the way, he's on a 4-fight win streak with one of those fights being in the UFC, but he had 3 wins in a row previous to his appearance in the UFC. On the other side, Fariz, 12-3-0, UFC 2-1. He's coming off a majority decision win over Luigi Vendramini on the same date, June 12th, 2021. You know, this one could be electric, or it could test McKinney's fitness over 3 rounds. Terence has never been in a decision, so it's likely him winning early or Perez by decision. I'm going to go with the latter. I'm going to say Perez by decision.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. This fight, to me, this might be fight of the night. I totally agree with you. These guys are young, and they're both very green. Now, it's really hard for me to pick against Ziam because if you don't know a little bit of background, he was the K1 champion at 18 years old. So the kid does have fighting experience prior to the octagon. It's not like he only has those couple fights. This kid is well-versed in striking. Let's put it that way. And he has great striking. His grappling looks well improved, which we saw that in the Malarkey fight. He's not a one-trick pony. Incredible. My thing is McKinney has powerful, fast hands. He doesn't just have, good striking. We don't even know how good his striking really is because it hasn't been tested too much. But his hands are powerful with that speed. I think we see a stand-up fight for the most part here. I also can see both guys getting knocked out. I don't see a clear edge here for either guy. This is another very tough call. I feel McKinney has the one advantage, though. He has fight-ending power in his hands. I like the underdog here. I don't think we go the distance, though. To me, this is another round 1 KO. I'm taking McKinney to get it done.
Ooh,
I also want to mention that we have a winner. We have Greg Sills won my competition for last week. You got to email me to get the prize. I know you got your first prize already. You let me know. So, shoot.
That's, shout out to Greg Sills, man. That's 2 times Greg's won. And hit yourself a shoey, man. I'm rocking tie today.
That's
hit
right.
yourself a shoey, man, in honor of yourself.
And shoot me an email, and I'll let you know what I need. All right, let's move on. This is our last fight we're covering here. We got another young guy in this one. We got a bantamweight battle going on. We got Alejandro Perez, 22-8-1. He's 32 years old, plus 195 underdog. He's going up against Jonathan Martinez, who's 14-4, 27 years old, and he's a minus 240 favorite. I should tell you, he's 27, 240 favorite. Tom, I mean, what do you see happening here?
All right, you got the Mexican Alejandro Perez, 32 years old on one side, 5'5" in height. The American Jonathan Martinez, 27 years old, 5'7" in height. And Martinez holds a 4.5-inch reach advantage. Alejandro Perez, very experienced though. 23-8-1 overall, UFC 8-4-1. He's coming off a sub-win round 2 over Johnny Eduardo in October 2021. On the other side, Jonathan Martinez, 14-4-0, UFC 5-3. He's a blue belt in BJJ, and he's coming off a unanimous decision win over Ziviad Lascivili in October 2021. My pick, I think it's a pretty good matchup. Martinez has had his ups and downs, and so has Alejandro. I feel Jonathan growing a little bit more, though, each outing. I have Jonathan Martinez by decision.
By decision. Alejandro Perez had an impressive choke in his last fight, but it wasn't against anybody that's too recognizable. It was a good looking choke, but I'm not feeling him. I really like Martinez in this one. I think he's the rightful favorite in this one. He's very tough. He's very gritty, and as you mentioned, he gets better and better each time out. I think we've seen the best Perez has to offer. Honestly, he's 32. He doesn't really seem to be climbing the ladder, improving, going up, and then coming down. Both guys are pretty good everywhere, I agree, but I feel like Perez is just not great anywhere. And I think we see a stand-up affair, and Martinez has faster, better hands. I think we get a war, though. No Mexican goes out without dying, man. Those guys are monsters, but
Absolutely.
I think we get to war. I think Martinez gets the finish, though. I think he needs the style points. He wants to climb back up and get back on track himself. I think we see like a late round 2 KO for Martinez. Now, Perez has been printed in the past. 2019 Chrome. Sell while he's back in the news. We know the guy's been injured and stuff like that. The guy is not climbed up. He's already 32. I hate to count guys out. That's not the right thing, but it's very hard to climb that bantamweight division how it sits right now. That thing is killers in there. There's a few divisions where it's just like you're going to have to really grind because there's like 10 guys waiting for that championship fight. They're all that talented. And the bantamweight division definitely has that ability. We might see Perez lose and then fight someone like O'Malley or something like that. Maybe you get some clout, but you're not. He's not climbing anytime soon. He's. I mean, but it's true. I think Martinez. I think we see Martinez printed. He's young. He's good. He's hungry. He's got a good camp. I think he's like Factory X or something like that. So. Very good. So that's who I like. That's all we're covering today, guys. Make sure you check them all out. If you want to get in the competition, Greg Sills, make sure you email me. I got to make sure you went through with everything this time. I'll be double checking. And we'll see you guys next time.